Hi, I'm Aimee.
And I'm Marian.
And together we have decided that Natural Curiosity needs to take the dive into the ever-changing world of technology, which is a passion for both me and Marian.
Yes.
And we know that technology nowadays can be so overwhelming. We get asked questions all the time. So we decided to create tools, tips, and technology to help take that overwhelm away that we know all of you guys could be feeling from having to work from home. And so we're going to be providing you with different tools that are going to be great resources for you, tips that are going to help you out and to make it easier, and some awesome technology that is coming out soon. So you're not going to want to miss this conversation. So go ahead and dive in, hit that subscribe button and the bell so you get notified every time we upload a new tools, tips, and technology video.
And this is a conversation that we are all going to have together. So leave us comments, ask us questions, and let's do this together. Thanks, Aimee. Can't wait to see y'all.
Hey, good morning, Marian. Where are you today?
Well, isn't this the most loveliest thing you've ever seen? It is calm. It is cool. It's green. I'm by the water. Yeah. No, I wish. This was a trip that I took in Michigan.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I went to see my daughter, and I captured this as I was sitting on the bench meditating.
That is the perfect spot to do that, for sure.
Isn't it? It's
so beautiful.
Beautiful. I absolutely loved every minute of it. And it was within walking distance of my daughter's house. So every morning I would scoot on over there.
Mm-hmm. I love it. Even better.
Yes. Wow. Well, what are we talking about today?
What aren't we? What aren't we talking about today, Marian?
Woohoo! Podcasting part 2.
Yes, which I'm super excited about. So we're going to be talking about sponsorships, how to make money from your podcast eventually. We all want to make money from podcasts. It's a great way to do it. We're also going to kind of dive into how consistent do you need to be and be posting in a podcast. So there's a ton of stuff to talk about. Me and Marian are excited to dive into it. So Marian, where do you want to start first? So much to talk about.
I know. Well, I think a lot of people when they're trying to figure out whether they should podcast or not, or when they're trying to figure out how to get more people to watch them, they're constantly worried about when should they go live and how often they should go live. So let's dive into that first, because I think that's as you're really trying to figure it out, you need some advice, you need some help. Now, remember that gentleman, can't remember his name right now, who became very famous when podcasting first came out, and he decided to go live every day. Do you remember that?
Oh, yes, I remember that. I don't remember the name, but yeah. Every day.
People are going to kill me. He belonged to a mastermind, which I highly recommend. And they all said to him, "Don't do it. Don't do a daily. Oh my God, that is just too much. You'll burn out."
Right.
And he said, "Nope. I want to do it. I'm going to go live every day." And sure enough, he did. And now he's famous. Now, I'm not so sure that is going to make you famous today, because there's a lot of podcasts out there. But that's one strategy that you could use, is to go every day. Now, I did try to do one every day, and it wasn't long. I did burn out.
Yeah. No, I can imagine. I ain't got that much to talk about. I can talk someone's ear off, but going every day, talking, creating new content. I mean, like we talked about last week, the content that you need for a podcast and the length and the creation and stuff. I mean, I'm not surprised that you burn out. I would burn out being every day. It gets exhausting and tiring. So, I mean, I think just like we do with this show, we're consistent on Tuesdays at 10 a.m., and it's one of those, whatever you decide to do, whether it's every day, once a week, once a month, right? It needs to be consistent, the same day, the same time, same date, whatever, you decide to do, if it's monthly, because, you're kind of training your audience when they can expect to hear from you, when they can expect a new show from you, what content they can hear, what the whole theme of the show is, right? And so, I mean, all the podcasts that I'm on, it's consistently the same day, unless like you have a guest that can't make it live or something like that, or you decide to record and make some edits, then maybe you have 2 shows that week because your guest couldn't be on at a certain time, or you pre-record or whatever. But if you're going to go live, like how, me and Marian do it, then it needs to be consistent. Because if it's all over the place, you're never going to gain any traction. People aren't going to know when to hear from you, what's new and stuff like that, because it's like, oh, well, Monday, one week I was on Monday, the next week it was a Friday, it's inconsistent. And with social media in general and podcasting, it just has to be consistent. I'm less likely to tune in, someone that listens to podcasts, if it's not consistent, because then it gets confusing. I mean, I don't know about you, Marian, and that's how I'm from. Like, this person doesn't have their stuff together, their life's chaotic, so I'm out.
They're not serious. That's the way it comes across, is they're not serious about what they're doing.
That's a much better way of saying it than they're a hot mess. Yes, I like it. Go, Marian.
All right. Well, we're all a hot mess at one time or another in our lives, aren't we? Oh dear, mine comes and goes. It's a flow, up and down, up and down. But you're right. I think you should pick a date, you should pick a time, and try to stick to it. Now, just to give you an example of what Aimee's talking about, I do live stream shows. I'm a producer. I do these kind of shows for clients, and one of my clients has like a networking group for seniors. And all the people that belong to this group, it's not really a networking group, but you know what I mean. They get together and they network with each other. So all these people get together and they serve senior citizens. It's a fantastic group. It's called the Senior Estate Concierge. And I absolutely love it. And so they decided to have a show so they could interview all of their members that wanted to be on, right? Some people don't want to. They're like, no, I don't want to be on. Anyway, I digress. One of the members has something really great to share, but he couldn't make it at that time. So just like Aimee said, you can do it so that you can record it and bring it out later. So it won't be a live show, but people will still be able to hear your client or still hear you at the time that you set up. Okay, so that is a thing.
Yeah, I think it's and I think it just makes it's easier for me, right? I mean, me and Marian are both on tools, tips, and technology, but we do other live videos and podcasts. We do a ton of stuff together and separate, and it makes my life a lot easier just in general, knowing, okay, so tools and tips and technology is Tuesday at 10 a.m., and then I have all of my other ones scheduled on different days. But Tuesdays is strictly for tools, tips, and technology. It helps bring structure to it. But
absolutely, we have tons of other things that are going on in our lives, and we know this is in our schedule.
Yeah.
All right, so let's now talk about how often people should. Okay, so we already talked about daily. What do you think? Weekly, monthly, yearly?
So, well, from my personal experience, yearly, that's like a one and done kind of thing. I personally go weekly, just because I view it as things are constantly changing every day. No matter what your podcast is about, health tips, networking, there's something new every week that you can talk about every week. And there's people that want to hear it that don't know. And even if they, may know something about the networking tips, well, maybe that following week, if you do health or whatever, maybe they don't know about it, right? There's always information that you could do. So I do it. Every single one of mine is weekly. I don't miss a week. Except it's, Christmas, but then we pre-record and send it out. We don't go live, right? But monthly, I feel like would be really hard to gain traction if you went monthly, because it's, once a month, but I feel like it would be a much longer show. Most podcasts, if you listen to them, are anywhere between 15 to 30, maybe an hour on how often you listen, right? I mean, I don't really listen to hour-long podcasts. The one I listen to is 15 to 25, 30 minutes. That's like the max of my attention span. But you can cover a lot of conversation in that, but it makes people want to come back for more. So I do mine weekly. Monthly would be just from a numbers standpoint, it would be much longer to gain traction before you can even monetize to make money. You know, it could take you up to a year where you only have 12 shows, where if you did it, you know, weekly, you're going to have a lot more content, more visibility, and you're going to be more popular. So then sponsors and stuff are going to look at you more because you may have 72 shows instead of just 12 because you did it monthly. You know, it's a numbers game when you start talking about monetizing and sponsors and stuff. So you want to get as many shows as you can kind of under your belt to help gain traction in that way. So I do weekly. That's just a personal opinion, I would say.
Now, for those of you who have a staff or have the money to hire editors, you could consider a daily show. And here's how I see it, because I do listen to a daily show. It's an hour long every day. I know it's rough, but he has a team. Okay, he has a team of paid staff and volunteers. So the one that I listen to is oh my God, the name just went out. I'll think of it in a second. You'd think after watching it every day for a long time, I would know the name. But anyway, it's a podcast. He has a YouTube channel, and he's got lots of stuff going on. And here is a success story. He's so popular that the television people, whoever they are, those people, they contacted him about doing a television show.
Oh, nice.
So think about this as an opportunity for you. You can just share your thoughts and your feelings and maybe teach some things and just not think of it as something really big. Or you could have dreams of making this into something really big, like what he did, right? So I promise I will remember his title. It's very interesting. So what he has done, because he has so much content, when he gets busy or over the holidays, he has his team, his editors, push podcasts together, push the shows together that are all in alignment. So if he has a theme of, say, meditation, then he brings in like 4 or 5 different people that had been on his show before, and they edit them together, and he doesn't have to be on that day.
Oh, nice. They just mash them all together, like a big mashup.
It is a mashup.
Nice.
Yeah. So as you get more and more content, there's a lot of different ways that you can present that content. So I like to say, start with video. You can always take the audio out and push it up through the podcast platforms where people just listen. You can then transcribe it, have it written, and have blog posts. You can then have a YouTube channel. You can take out little bits and pieces and do TikToks. I mean, Instagram, there's all kinds of, it's amazing the amount of content that you can develop from one video. Pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you
Inspire Nation. I just remember. Sorry.
Nice.
It's called Inspire Nation, and if you look him up on YouTube, you'll see him. Inspire Nation. It's a daily show, and I listen to it at work because you can kind of tune in or pause it. If a customer comes in or the phone rings, hit pause and then go back. So I'm okay with an hour, but for someone just starting out, I'm going to recommend that you start out with a half an hour, and just like Aimee said, once a week. That would be your goal.
Yeah, daily just it's a lot. I mean, I know, Marian, I know you've been doing this a long time too. I mean, I've been doing this for, I don't know, at least 5 years. I mean, Author Talk's been running almost 5 years, and weekly is a lot. I mean, it's fun to look forward to, because I know, my Monday mornings is Author Talk, Tuesdays Tool Tips and Technology, and then I have all these other ones, but it's a lot just weekly. So daily, I think it's good to build up, because then you can kind of set it up as like a talk show, like Ellen's show and Kelly Clarkson's shows. Those could be podcasts and eventually go on to TV and stuff, doing it daily. But like Marian said, you have to have a team to do that. If you're like a one-man or a one-woman show, that's extremely difficult to take on that that big of a hurdle to do it daily. So I would start out weekly for sure. And
yeah. And I'm going to suggest also, because I teach this stuff, I'm going to suggest that you pick a partner. Now, Aimee and I both could do this by ourselves. We have the technology, we have the gumption. We're not shy. We get in front of the camera. We'll do anything, you know. We could do it ourselves, but we don't want to. You know why? Because it's more fun for you, the audience, and it's more fun for us. And it's half the work. Let's face it. She's got to do half the work. You know, right, Aimee?
Yeah. I mean, that's true. Yeah. I think I don't know how many. Here comes my daughter. It's one of those. It's a live show, people. It's one of those. I don't know how I couldn't do a show by myself. I could, you know, I know the technology, like Marian said, I am not a shy person. But it's fun to have interaction with someone else than just yourself talking nonstop, because there's differences of opinions and things like that. And if I'm trying to share it out on platforms, it's good to bounce different things off. My daughter's losing it, but it's good to bounce different things off and everything like that. Marian, I'm going to kick it to you till my child calms down.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna share my screen anyway, so go in there and do what you need to do. I'm gonna show him some things on the screen here. So we're gonna go over. Let's see here. She taught me how to do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, and I'm going to share my second screen because I have two screens going on here. All right, let me take that banner off. All right, and take the little thing off. What do you call that? The tools, tips, and technology at the top. Okay, we're going to take everything off. All right, can y'all see that?
Yes.
Okay. So this is basically Patreon. I'm going to be showing you. Patreon is a way for you to make some money with your podcast, and I'm going to show you. This is mine. It's nothing fancy. I threw it up there. Well, I say I throw it up there. I actually made it so that I could teach my Mastermind members how to do theirs. So I taught them how to do a GIF, which is a movement. As you can see, the little peace sign is actually moving. You just can't go in there and do that. You have to know how. And I put up a banner with, it's just a community of curious-minded individuals. Now, I run my mastermind out of here. So as you can see, I have levels. So you can say $5 level. You can say, oh, I want to be in your mastermind for $25 a month, or you could be a sponsor for $400 a month. So I want you to think about how this could be you. How you could develop a podcast and drive the traffic over here to your Patreon. So patrons pay you money to see and hear and feel connected to your community. All right. So now here comes the big portion. All right. I want you to see this. This is, I hope you can see it okay. This is Graphtreon. So it's basically showing you what people are doing as a podcast, how much money they're making. So these are mostly podcasts that I'm going to be showing you, the top 1,000 podcasts. I'm not going to show you all 1,000, but look at this. A true crime podcast has 45,000 patrons. Now, they're not showing us how much money they're making, but even if they were charging $1 per month, how much money are they making? $45,000 a month. Okay, now some people, they show us how much money they're making. They're not afraid, kind of like me. I put it all out there. This is Chapo Trap House is creating the Chapo Trap House podcast. Now they have 36,000 patrons. They're making $163,000 per month. $444 per month per patron is what they're averaging. Now, just look at some of these, okay? 90,000, 100,000, 86,000, 105,000 a month. Now, I'm going to come back. I'm going to stop sharing for just a minute, even though I have more to share, because I want to see your face. how much money people are making with a podcast.
That's crazy. Yeah. I didn't know about Patreon.
You didn't know about Patreon or Graftrion? Graftrion.
Patreon. I didn't know about that until you had come to talk about it at one of the classes that I was attending and how you could make money doing it. But I mean, like you said, even if they have 40,000 Patreons, and if they're charging $1, I mean, that's, $40,000 that they could potentially be making, right? I mean, we don't know their tier structure or anything, but yeah, I mean, I'm not even on Patreon. I need to be on that.
Hello. I'd be happy to teach you.
I know. Do you teach that in your mastermind?
I do. It's one of the big things I continue to help and make sure that people understand what is possible. So I want to dive down and dive back. So there's somebody in our audience who's saying something. Oh, this is Susie Fogerson. She has the Health Beat. She is developing her Patreon page. And remember, it's called Patreon, but Patreon allows you to have patrons. So that's what that is. Patrons are not donations. They're people who love your information and they want to support you. Now, that doesn't mean that you're never going to give them anything in return. It does mean that you need to give them things to keep them there, right? So I just happen to have a mastermind. I run my Patreon account through my Patreon. But here's the deal. Yes, Aimee and I are going to develop our own stream of income with our brand new podcast. So if you'd like to stick around and watch us and see how we build this, we're going to be using all the things that you talked about earlier, Aimee. We're going to be using sponsors or patrons. We're going to be using affiliate marketing. And what else? What else could we use to develop an income for our podcast?
Well, there's different avenues, right? I mean, you can offer, I mean, this falls under sponsorships, but you can offer to do a commercial for somebody for their business. And that's how you can also make money from doing it and having the affiliate marketing, Marian, like you said, people that will share and push it out or send people to you. I know a lot of people that, they can make a really good income from affiliate marketing. And I feel like it's one of those things that not a whole lot of people know about. Like Marian, I know you wrote a book on affiliate marketing years ago, and I know it's changed a little bit since then, but it's, one of those, it's kind of helping spread the word of someone else's business, and they reward you for doing that. So if you have an affiliate marketing part and we, offer you whatever through Patreon or whatever about the show, or someone does that, or for a commercial, then you're helping us by spreading the word about our show, and we're rewarding you for that because we're getting access to your audience, right? That's the beauty of affiliate marketing, and it's works wonders now with social media and everything like that onto it. Sponsors, I would say, like Anchor can also help you get sponsors. If you upload just the audio portion of it, they kind of feed it out to other sponsors that are like, hey, I really love your show. I think would be a great fit. That's the biggest thing that anybody would want, is people to reach out to you and be like, hey, I want to sponsor your show. I want to have a commercial in there that's like 5 seconds or 10 seconds, 30 seconds long. I want you to talk about my business, but I'll pay for you to do that each show, right? That's the beauty of it. And that's kind of where for me, I would say that's like the ultimate goal, is to have someone send you an email or whatever and be like, hey, I listen to your show all the time. I think this would be great. Can I sponsor your show? How much do you charge for sponsorships if you throw in a commercial on every show about my business? And people do that. So
Susie, please share your Patreon page with us, and I'll put it up on the screen. So Susie says that I helped her set up her Patreon. She's in my mastermind, and she definitely wanted a place where she could go. Now, can you just build a website and drive traffic there? Sure. But man, unless you're really dedicated or a lot about it, it is hard, right?
Yeah, it's much harder.
It is. If you set it up on Patreon, you can drive your traffic there, and everything can be done through there. Your live streams, you can upload videos, you can put your posts just like on a like on anything, LinkedIn, Facebook, there's a feed, right? And then you can decide whether or not you want just your members that are paying you to see that, or it's open to the public. So let me show you that real quick before we run out of time. My God, time just flies by.
It does. It flies. You look down, you're like, oh, I got time. Then the next thing you know, you're like, I'm out of time.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to come back over to Natural Curiosity, and I'm going to show you. See here, it can only be seen by members. You can lock things, and then you can tease them with, say, hey, become a Mastermind member to get all the goodies we share. So it kind of like teases them like, oh, I guess I better become a member, or I can't see what she's sharing. She's probably sharing some really cool stuff, right? Now, here's an open post that I did that anybody can see, and I put our podcast up there. And I started a TikTok channel, so I started calling it the Very Lucky People Club, and so I shared that. So basically think about all the different things that you could share with your public, okay? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't take that off of there. You can't really see it. So you can use it like your Instagram, your tool, your LinkedIn, your Facebook feed, and you can talk about anything that you want. So as you can see, I do a lot of posting here. I talk about the different things that I'm doing. I have articles that I put up here, but here's the big thing. You can charge people to see your really good content. Not that all my content's not really good.
Yeah, it's all good. I think it helps make it where you have your paying Patreons, I believe that's what they're called, right? Your Patreon
patrons. They're
patrons.
paid
Patreon
patrons.
is the place. Okay, see,
Right.
I've learned something. So your patrons, they are paying for the exclusivity. They're the only ones that have access to it, and I think that's kind of what sponsors and stuff do. They're paying to have exclusive access to your show for their business, right? And that's how you're going to make money with your podcast. Whether you go on Patreon or you have sponsors, you do the affiliate, whatever, that's the best way to monetize it. And I would say the best place to learn how to do that or just see it in action is YouTube. Because you have people that have millions of followers.
I love YouTube.
On YouTube, you get notified if you subscribe and hit the bell button, which, just in case you haven't done it, please do it for tools, tips, and technology. But you get the notification pushed to your phone. You can watch the video. You can watch it live, right? But then when your video becomes big enough or you have enough subscribers, they have ads that run in the middle of your videos. Right? Those are all sponsors. But then if they're doing an unboxing video or podcast or unboxing something, they got paid to do that. It's a sponsorship. So if you want an example of what it looks like to have these sponsors and, people to make money from their podcast, go to YouTube. That is the best place to see it in action, I would say. But
there's so many ways to make money with a podcast. So many. And I'm going to go right back to when we first started. Start with video. Don't be afraid. Start with video. With video. Did you hear me? Start with video. Because then all the different things can be pulled out of that, created from that. I'm just saying.
Video is not going away. I mean, if anything that the pandemic taught us was that video is here and it is fast moving. Okay, it's fast moving. It's changing and evolving super quickly, and everybody's on it, and you could be on it. And so it's not slowing down anytime soon. It's something that if you're camera shy, if you're doing it live from your phone, you could look at the ground, I guess, if you want to. But it's something that eventually you're going to have to get comfortable with doing because I just see this as the way everything's moving. So you got to jump on the train at some point.
Well, another thing is if you are shy or you're afraid to be in the camera, having somebody do it with you gives you more strength. It allows you to do it because they can do it and they're there with you. So no matter how nervous you get, your partner can take over. So as you get more comfortable, you could do it alone. But notice, if you look at any of my videos, I've been doing videos since it came out. I'm never alone. Why? Because I don't want to. It's more fun with somebody cool,
Yeah.
like Aimee.
Hey. Yeah. But it's also good if you're doing a live show like you guys have witnessed this show, right? If something happens, because I have kids at home and stuff, Marian just like swooped in and could take over so I could handle it and it wasn't a distraction for everyone, right? I could mute myself. And that's easier when you have a partner. If you're doing it alone, then, and I've done it. Okay. So I've done it. I've been the hot mess person where my kids are going off in the background. I'm just trying to get this point across and it's just not working. Okay. I've been there. I've done it, but it's nice to have someone, like Marian, that you have the good rapport with, a good relationship, and you can get on here and have fun. I mean, when me and Marian get in the backstage before we come live, we're always like, you ready? And we're like, yeah, it's going to be fun. Like, we just enjoy doing it and talking to each other and learning. I mean, I learn something new all the time from Marian. So it's good to have someone like that isn't afraid to bring out the fun, because shows should be fun. It should be fun for you to do. You should look forward to doing to it. It shouldn't be work or hard at all.
There you go. And if you are just joining us today for the first time, I want you to go back and watch our shows before, because I want you to understand a little bit more about why Aimee and I came together. She's half my age, and so for a lot of people my age, they're starting to retire. Well, I'm like, ridiculous. I can't retire. I'll retire when they put me in the box,
Yeah.
I'm not going to retire because I think this is fun. I love sharing tools and tips. I love learning tools and tips. And so I can learn from her. She can learn from me. We can learn from you, our audience, and you all can learn from us. So let's all do this together. Let's stick together. Go down there, subscribe if you haven't already. YouTube, subscribe. You can watch us on LinkedIn, and also on Facebook. We have Natural Curiosity. You can go to NaturalCuriosity.Life and see all of our podcasts. You can also go to our brand new website, toolstipsandtechnology.com.
Yeah.
There's a lot here, and I don't want to overwhelm anybody, but I want you to know that we're here for you. Aimee and I both have our things that we're doing. She is supporting authors, and I'm supporting entrepreneurs. I know where to send people if they need any help with books and authorship. Tell us just a little bit. I know we're running out of time, but tell us just a little bit about who you really want to contact you today.
Yeah. So if you are a small town business owner, or you just have a story in you that you want to get out and you want to know the best ways to do it, if you should indie publish, what the difference is between traditional, hybrid, whatever, all the ins and outs, I do know all of those. My daughter can tell you that I know all of those, but those, I can help you. Everyone has a story in them, so I can always help you kind of bring it out. So it's fun. Authors are extremely fun, and I love it. I love what I do.
All right. So if you want to contact me, the best way to do it is to go to NaturalCuriosity.Life. There's a contact button there. I am eager to talk to anybody that wants to move forward with their business. And Aimee and I together can help you. If you can't find somebody, we can direct you to the person that can help you. We want you to share your message with the world because we know you have a fantastic message deep down inside you that needs to get out. So until next week, thanks again. I really look forward to everything that we're doing. Aimee, do you have any idea what we're going to be talking about next week?
Well, Marian, I thought we would dive into maybe some different graphic topics and just see what else all is out there. Yes, me and Marian loves graphics. We could talk about all times. So I thought we would talk about some different graphic platforms, paid and free, that you can use to help you with your social media efforts.
All right.
Yeah. I'm going to mute myself now.
All right. So I'm going to take us out. Thank you for joining us. Be sure and contact us and let us know what you want to learn, because we want to learn it with you. All right. Bye for now. Bye, everybody.